Hello, welcome to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to talk about two characteristics that are common to chronic pain sufferers. The first of those is putting pressure on yourself. So I'll go through the details of that in a minute, what that looks like, what that means, how that perpetuates your pain, and a few ways in which you can sort of counteract and change that. The second is people pleasing. This again, I'll go through the details of what that is. I mean, the clue is in the name. Basically, you're putting other people's needs ahead of your own. Both of these things, putting pressure on yourself and people pleasing, are two things that have been found in multiple studies with people suffering from chronic back pain and other chronic conditions. And the bottom line is, if you can tackle some of these behaviors within yourself, essentially learn to put less pressure on yourself and learn to please yourself instead of others, then the general result is your bodily system, your nervous system will calm down, and you'll be able to make decisions for yourself and empower yourself, which will actually lead to reducing your pain. So that's why I want to talk about this today. So yeah, I'll jump straight into it then. The first one, putting pressure on yourself. This is a common trait anyway, not just chronic pain sufferers. If you're anything like me, maybe you struggle with overthinking. You can fall into the trap of, I don't know, this sense of obsessive productivity. I should do everything that comes into my head now because, I don't know, for some reason we like to pressure ourselves into the idea of, I don't know, productivity as a religion. It's also kind of cultural and societal at the moment. It's a bit ridiculous. It goes too far as I'm concerned, because yeah, of course, it's good to get stuff done and feel accomplished, but at the same time, it's good to chill. It's good to take the pressure off, sit back, breathe, read a book, do something different. So if you identify with any of those things, sort of, let's say, the overthinking about things you have to do, it's extremely common. It's extremely normal in some respects to want to do things. That's part of our nature. We want to do things. We want to take action. We want to essentially take care of our stuff in our day, you know, whether it be wash up, do the washing up, go to work, do the grocery shopping, you know, all of these so-called sort of chores that we have to do in our life just to survive. These things are natural. We're always going to want to have to do things. Now, the difference between doing something and putting pressure on yourself to do something is sometimes an inner sense of frustration. So you could ask yourself, you know, am I frustrated at myself for not doing the thing that I'm thinking about right now? Are you using the word should a lot? Oh, I should have done this, I should be doing that, I should have gone to the shop by now, or I should be vacuuming my home, or I should have bought that thing 2 weeks ago because it's really important for, I don't know, to have this flower pot on my balcony and I've not bought it, and oh my god, I'm such a shit person, all this sort of crap, basically. You know, it could be anything. I'm just spitballing off the top of my head. So if you are experiencing pressure on yourself, so I should have done this, I should be doing that, or I had another thought of taking care of something and blah blah blah. Look, it's tiring. I'm getting tired just regurgitating the shit that sometimes goes through my head. So one way to help tackle that is to come to your breath. Just take a moment to slow down take a moment to take stock of yourself, i.e. how you're feeling. Has my energy changed? Do I really need to do the thing that is constantly going around my head? And see whether that helps. See whether instead of doing the thing that is constantly going around your head, just write it down. Get it out of your head, write it down, but don't treat what you've written down as a to-do list. This is just get it out of my head. You might not need to do it. There might not be any reason for you to do it apart from the pressure that you're putting on yourself to do it. And if you can sit with yourself for a few moments, it took me just a few seconds there just to breathe, because I could feel my energy, I could feel how excited I was getting, because I'm essentially describing to you things that I also go through in my life. And it just took a few seconds for me to bring my energy back, take stock of what I'm thinking, what I'm saying, the pace in which I'm delivering this YouTube video, I guess. But there are things you can do to mitigate, and again, you can get things out of your head, write things down and just say, okay, I'm going to write that down, and then I'm just going to come back to myself and go, how important is it for me to do this thing that I'm pressuring myself to do today? It's highly likely that it's not as important as you think it is. And it's also very easy to get drawn into some sort of societal and cultural productivity religion. We're surrounded by this obsessive idea that we need to do more all the time. Be mindful of that. In the workplace, it's the same. Everyone's just churning everyone out for the most amount of productivity they can get for the least amount of money, that sort of shit. It's kind of like, that's the kind of stuff that like screws with our ability to check into ourselves, because all around us there are these pressures, there are these obsessive pressures with getting things done, and it's hurting people and it's hurting you. And if you have back pain, or if you have any other chronic muscle tension, there's a high chance that that highly pressured stress is activating your nervous system. It's creating some imbalances. It will make your heart rate go up, it will make your breathing shallow, and then that'll bring tension into your body, and then you'll start to experience pain. So just to recap, take a breath. You don't have to do the thing that your brain is telling you need to do today. Fuck it, leave it until tomorrow. Forget all the bullshit rules about, if you think about it, you must do it today, blah, blah, blah. All of that crap is inner pressure. So take a step back, take care of the things that are important for you. It doesn't mean just do nothing at all. It's not the message. It's just taking stock of the things that come up in your head and making a conscious decision whether to act upon that from the energy of stress and maybe being frustrated at yourself because you've not done enough. The should word, again, I'll go back to, it's very important to recognize when you're shoulding yourself, i.e. that's very is linked to the pressure that you put upon yourself, so be mindful of that. And if you can slowly start to catch yourself with the shoulds, with the frustration that you put on yourself, with this, I don't know, sort of asking yourself, why am I bothered about doing this thing? Is it because I want to do the thing, or is it because I'll somehow feel bad because some imaginary idea that I'm not going to be a good person if I don't fulfill all of these ridiculous tasks that my mind is constantly telling me to do? So check in on that, and yeah, good luck, and see how you get on, basically. I'll move to the second point I wanted to go over, the second sort of characteristic trait that is extremely common with chronic back pain sufferers and other chronic pain sufferers, and this is people pleasing. So again, this is a natural human trait. We want to help others. It's completely normal, and I'm not advocating for you to just tell everyone to fuck off, although actually it can be useful sometimes. So let's dive into that a little bit more. What does people pleasing mean? It means basically putting the needs of others above yourself. It means you end up doing things for other people, I suppose, out of some sense of obligation, like, oh, I have to do that because, you know, what would they think of me if I didn't do that? You know, so it's also that judgment comes in again, like, will that person accept me if I say no, for instance? And if we're afraid of rejection, which again is also quite common on the deeper emotional sense when it comes to chronic pain, if you want to go a bit deeper, that's also a space you can go to. You know, but you end up doing things for others when actually you don't really feel like doing it. And if you really took a moment to ask yourself, does this feel okay for me? You know, and that could be from a psychological perspective, and it can be from a very honest bodily perspective. Like, actually, no, my fucking back's hurting. I wanna sit at home and I wanna just be on my own. I don't wanna go and do the thing, or I don't even want to go for a coffee sometimes. You know, these things where we do it for the other person is detrimental to our health. You know, it diminishes your self-worth. You end up not respecting yourself. It means you don't really appreciate yourself over other people. And this can be really hard to connect to, because we can build an identity around helping others, and we can get, and it is joyful actually, we can get great joy and meaning, I suppose, from helping others. But when that starts to cross the line of helping others to spite yourself, then you start moving into the territory of, that's actually not a healthy decision for you to make. So please be mindful of that, because yes, it's good to be a nice human being. It's good to help others. Of course it is. Why wouldn't we want to help others? You know, the main thing is connecting to yourself. You know, there could be a sense of fear. You might have a bit of anxiety sometimes when you get asked to do something from a friend or a family member. And I would ask, is that anxiety? Is that because you're afraid of saying no? Are you afraid of what they might think? Are you judging yourself from their eyes? And if that is the case, you need to come back to your breath again. Take a few moments to make a decision. You don't have to make a decision instantly, you know. You know, you could ask yourself, what would I feel if I say yes to this request? And what would I feel if I say no to this request? And take a few moments with the answers. You can have a pen and paper handy if that suits you. Some people like to write things down. Talk to yourself. Self-talk is also very useful. Don't be afraid to find ways to communicate with yourself that help give you the answer that's going to benefit you and not the other person. Because if you're in chronic pain, you may have spent much of your time focusing on the needs of others, because the needs for yourself might even be too painful for you to connect to. So please keep that in mind, and learn to respect your own needs. Practice prioritizing your needs over the needs of others, because this is healing. This is self-love. So practice, Notice if you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, and notice if you are pleasing people all the time. If you are, take a few moments, step back, take a breath, and practice doing things for yourself that doesn't create pressure in your life and that puts your needs above the needs of others. Because if you're able to look after yourself, you're actually more capable to take care of others if you're better within yourself. It's not selfish, it's self-love. So good luck with that. Hopefully I've helped shed some light on some reasons why why your pain persists, because pressure is stress, and stress for our system and our body can create pain and symptoms. And people pleasing is essentially saying, oh, well, I'm going to put that person's needs ahead of myself, which when it comes to pain and even feelings of anxiety and things like that, if you're really not feeling good inside, you just need to check yourself first. So again, good luck with that. I really wish you the best because it can be tough, and I'll see you in the next one.